here we are. Just gonna post the rules real quick. And don't make me repost them. So, hi! My eyes are absolutely filthy, and I keep cleaning them, and they somehow get fingerprints in them without me ever touching the lens. So, if this is your first time here, my name is Shiro. I'm a comic artist. What I usually do on these streams is I talk a little bit about what happened artistically in the past week. If I painted or drew anything new, I show it, and then we move on to me drawing my weekly webcomic Bootleg Cookie. Was the title of today's comic clickbaity? Abso-fucking-lutely. You better believe I did on purpose. Because if this is your first time, you're probably thinking, oh my god, what an asshole. They tried AI art. If you've been here before, you know about the AI experiment. If anything, it is about time that I finally decide to actually draw it. Now, as far as artistic things go, I actually attended a virtual con yesterday called the Indie Comics Pride Fair. And it was on an app called Gather. Now, what Gather does is basically a workspace, but it looks like RPG Maker. Basically, you have a little sprite character walking around, and it is for work. It is for work. It is a workspace. Like, in order to prepare myself to work with Gather, I made an account, built myself a little default studio, walked around. Stuff like that. And for the fair itself, they had set up a convention space, and I had two tables at my booth, and I was able to link, I was able to link some of my work and my stuff to various decorative objects that I could put on my tables. I say because there were a lot of issues. So, as far as the software goes, I think there was an issue if you were trying to embed multiple links of the same flavor. If it, like, let's say I put in my link tree and another artist put in their link tree, then the link would simply not load in the window. Like, not at all. So it happened to my link tree, and it happened to my Global Comics link for Super Mario Adventures Continued. And they had put in a link for Barbarian Queen Charybdis. There's a version of Barbarian Queen Charybdis on Comics 1. It was organized by Comics 1, Comics.1, Comics with an X. And that didn't work either, because there were several Comics 1 links, and they all crashed. So the workaround was to put in instead of putting in a URL, you assigned your item to a post-it note, sorta. And that worked because you could click on the link on the post-it note that would pop up. So that worked. I even put in a screen on the wall behind me. And when you would interact with the screen, it would load up the YouTube short where I draw Celeste. So that was pretty cool. Like, the concept of Gather is pretty cool. It's buggy at times, but it's pretty cool. Now, the other thing was that when I showed up for my time slots, it was absolutely, completely dead. Thankfully, the way I had set up my booth, I didn't have to be there for people to check out my stuff. They just had to click on the little items that I had programmed. And I do believe there were many factors that contributed to the problem. Now, firstly, it was like announced like live last minute, like they announced it the day of. I knew about it for like 2-3 weeks, I think, but there was no room link. Like they did the room the day of, it felt like. Now I will say this right away, I am not trying to shit on the organizers, not at all, zero, because my issues with what happened at this online fair were pretty much all things that they could not control. Because I'm pretty sure outside of the times that I was there, it was busier, and I'll tell you why. Like, not only was it like announced like the day of, it started at night in my time zone, because they're in Australia, they have a different time zone. I don't know if it was busier in their time zone. I want to say probably. Very likely, really. Now, my other issue that they could not control is the fact that I'm not popular. Like, I am very popular on the inside of the indie Canadian comics. Like, I did a lot. I'm doing some more right now as we speak in indie Canadian comics. But I am not popular to the public because I announced my participation to this fair as soon as I could, with a little graphic when the hours and a link to the room and everything. And I literally live had people like the post on Divine Art, like literally put it in their favorites and not show up. So, like, this basically tells me we like your art, but shut the fuck up. So, I mean, I'm happy when there's 4 people in here, so imagine. So that they couldn't control. The time zone they couldn't control. And there's also, and I think that's also a big factor, in order to join the room, you need to make a Gather account. And a lot of people do not like making accounts to begin with. Even less if it's for something that you don't plan on using after. Like, I was serious about this. I didn't have to, because it can be web-based, but I literally downloaded the desktop app so I could familiarize myself with the software. I also downloaded the iOS app, which is not worth shit, but I kept it regardless so I could see, because on the iOS app, and what I assume the Android app, I should just say the mobile app, all you have is a list of the people in the room you're in right now. If there's a way to talk to them, I'm not sure. Probably audio and video, not chat, because I couldn't figure it out. And you can't even edit your character on mobile. You can barely do anything on mobile. Just keep tabs on who's there, and that's it. But I kept it anyway because I had a time slot from 9 to 11, and then from 2 to 4, because I was trying not to tire myself out, because usually Saturday is my day off. And I had this nasty knot in the back of my neck for a week. Like, the minute my time slots were up, I left, and I had to take the good painkiller. That's how bad it was at that point. I wouldn't call it a failure, even if like one person showed up just to tell me, wow, you draw all of this? Yes, I do. Because I did have a nice talk with Briar White, hoping I got the name right. I know I got the Briar. And they're a lovely person with Great art. I'm skipping the Christmassy song. Let me see if I can remember. Because I would like to link to their Instagram, but that's hoping that they use the same name for their Instagram. Oh, thank God. I have a lot of trouble with names. But I'm going to drop their Instagram in the chat. Because I can do that. So I had a lovely chat with them. And for some reason, I could not attend the previous panel on that day. It was supposed to be a live draw, but it just wouldn't let me in the room. The second one was a Crazy Cat panel. I was allowed in that one. I was literally the only other person other than T. Do I have T's Instagram? Because I know I followed everybody that I could talk to, and everybody else that I couldn't because they weren't there, but they were like me and they put their link tree on their tables so I could find them. If not, I know they have a... Whoa, why are you formatted like that? Okay. Oh, there they are. So I'm going to drop that in the chat also. T-Berry Blue. They were the one that that hosted the Crazy Cat panel. And they were like, what do you know about Crazy Cat? And I said, nothing. So I'm going to sit here and learn. And I did. Unbeknownst to them, cartoon / comic trivia like that really interests me. Even if I show or talk like no interest about that, it's actually interesting. And I pretty much learned everything about Crazy Cat's gender fluidness. And I did not know Crazy Cat had a cartoon in the 60s. Like, as soon as T mentioned that, I was like, really? And I went to look, and sure enough. So yeah, that was fun. Talking with Briar was fun. Everything else was dead. Absolutely dead. But once again, it was not their fault. There was a lot of factor out of their control. One of them being me, not being popular at all. So... But yeah, now you guys know about two other artists, and not happy with that. T is a Boom Studio employee, so yeah. There was that at least. Like, they did their best. I still say if it was announced like way earlier, boost up some hype and stuff like that. Like, maybe the big fans would have made a Gather account. But like I said, I don't count it as a failure. Because I got to talk to two other artists. So, I'm pretty happy with that, honestly. So how about... I move that up here. I move that here so I can see what you guys are doing. And then... we get on with why we're here for. How about that? Does that sound good to you guys? Fan is acting normal so far for those keeping tabs. And the back of my neck is feeling pretty decent, I would say. So hopefully it stays that way. Whoops. Oh, great start! Wrong brush. To be honest, I wrote this comic like this morning because I was sincerely out of ideas. And I didn't want to make a comic about the fair because I felt it wouldn't be fair to talk about the flaws in a comic, because more people would be more inclined to read the comic than go back and check the archives of a video. But like I said, I cannot stress how much I am not shitting on the organizers. I am not shitting on the fair itself. It was their first time using Gather in general. So, like last time I participated in an online fair was like years ago when the plague was in full front, you know what I mean? It's just the problem is with my stories is that sometimes I struggle a lot to actually remember the memories. I mean, I've been at this comic for 10 years and I'm running out of stuff, if only because I don't go out. Like the best I have is me trying to mess with scammers on the Vine Art. So there's not much back and forth, you know? You know I haven't had water all day. I'm gonna have a sip before I start on the second panel. Oh, you guys know what? I almost set fire to the house yesterday. How's that for exciting? I was trying to water the plants, and there was an extension like bar right next to the plants, and I misjudged how much I had to tilt the watering can, because once again I cannot see depth as well as a normal person, and I watered the extension bar. Thankfully it didn't spark, but I know some water got in there, but it didn't spark. So I just calmly unplugged it, put it upside down to let the water go out, like drip down as it dried, and I hadn't plugged it back in yet because I think it was just plugging some Christmas lights that we have like in the window and stuff like that, and a projector to put Christmas stuff on the ceiling. Yeah, we're in June and it's still plugged. Look, we're all old. We don't want to bend down and plug and unplug, okay? So yeah, we're fine. You know, that's something that really pissed off a lot of people, is the fact that the way I panic, because I think I would be more useful if I stay calm and just do the thing I think is best. And a lot of people take that for me either being ignorant of the danger or me being smug about the danger. Because I don't panic how neurotypical people panic. Like, I do panic, yes I do, but I don't, for stuff like that, when there's immediate danger, I just stay calm, but I don't necessarily freeze. Audacity makes me freeze. Audacity makes me freeze. Accidents, like, one of the best examples is that time, and that's a bootleg cookie, is that time that I cut myself, and I was so calm about it. Like, I had filleted my nail right here, and I was so calm about it that the teacher didn't take me seriously. Like, it took, like, I need to help this student first, I need to help this student first, and they needed help with, what kind of spice am I putting in here, am I cooking this right, I just want to make sure I do this right. You know, they weren't bleeding like I was, and after the third student, I was like, teacher, I need a Band-Aid, and it's not like I didn't tell her. It's not like I was just waiting behind patiently holding my finger. I told her, I need help. I need a Band-Aid. I need a Band-Aid. Yeah, just a minute. I literally had to grab her, turn her around by her shoulder. I need a Band-Aid. Oh, I thought you just wanted attention. No, I wanted a Band-Aid. Well, I need just enough attention to give me a Band-Aid, because guess what? The room, apparently, we had this dependency on first aid kit supplies. We reselled it on the black market or something. I don't know. Because black market store brand Band-Aids, they're in high demand. I didn't know you were bleeding. I mean, I don't want a band-aid to put on my nose to look cute. Do you need to lay down? No, I need a band-aid. Like, um, like neurotypical people act like that around me, and then they turn around and accuse me of thinking I'm better than them. Like, are you projecting? Like, slow, 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 slow. Also, it's been raining all week, and there's been thunder. I had one power outage for like half a second yesterday while I was talking to Briar, so that wasn't awkward at all. Like, the thing I don't understand with AI bros, like, I don't understand anything about the AI bros. But what they're really about is the results. That's why they don't care about the process. And of course, I'm happy with the results when I draw or paint. But if you take out the process, it's just not fun. But at the same time, they say that the process is not fun. And I don't know how the process is not fun. I can't understand it. Like, what would lead someone to not enjoy the process of something? And people would be like, yeah, when you're literally showing the process of AI, you write stuff and you render it, and then you tweak it and you render it. It doesn't feel like I'm doing it, you know? Because with art, I'm the one that decides if the piece is what I wanted it to be. Here, it's more up to luck that it ends up looking like something that I had in mind. Now, honestly, I'm kind of hoping when I post this, it's going to cause trouble, and now the word I was actually thinking of was conversation. Because as best I can, when it comes to art, I'm all about transparency. I absolutely do use Tool to make my job easier digitally. Because I have serious deadlines when I'm doing comics. None of them really include draw the whole thing for me. Like, for a short time I was part of the Artex Facebook group, and they announced that they had a new AI assistant to help with the posts and stuff like that. It didn't really matter to me. Because, like, those are bots, okay? Call them all AI if you want. They are AI, but those are bots. I have bots. I am using bots right now. But what made me leave the group was that they included an AI-made dog. Like, it was very obvious it was AI. None of the toes were the same number on each paw. There was a piece that was floating out of nowhere. Like, it was a mess. Like, you're literally an artist group. Like, you have a bot to help you manage the group. That is fine. But it introduces itself with a generated image. In an art group? Of course, the tools that I use, I specify digitally because I can't use those tools when I'm painting on paper. And the art that I do on paper is still pretty good. So it shows that my art, whether I use special tools or not, to make my life easier, it's still my art. Because, like, let's say we have another power outage today. Like, I won't be able to finish the comic, but I'll still be able to draw something else in the meantime. Like, I've got flashlights all over the house. I literally have oil lamps. I can draw next to that if need be. I'm still not over that one guy that said... Well, one guy. The one guy that started the argument, and then all the other ones following them about how they were basically bullied by artists because they were gatekeeping art. And every single artist that exists, like, even the ones that are dead, like, turn in their graves like, what? And I remember saying in a previous stream that I wanted to see these, like, gangs of artists bullying jocks. Like the art club versus the computer club, because, well, they're AI bros, so they got something for technology. Like... like, oh no, here comes the art club. Guys, hide. It's the art club. The art club shows up. Hello. It's like, what were we going to do in high school as the art club versus the computer club? Like, both of us. I just had a flash. Is this because some artists don't want to share what brushes they use digitally, or when they do, it's paid brushes? Like, usually paid brushes are not that expensive. I bought a bunch of brushes. Like, I have this gigantic friend and collection of brushes. Cost me $15. And when you used to update the set, the updates were free. So it can't be that, because to get access to the good AI generators, you have to subscribe per month. So like, I don't know what to tell you guys. The correct layer, please. It's supposed to rain again today. It was rainy and windy. It's mostly the wind that's the problem, because rainy, you get thunder, and thunder scares Lily, of course. Windy, our power cables are like delicate little flowers. So if it gets just a little too windy, we get power outages. And it's not just me, so I consider myself lucky yesterday that it was one that was just me as far as I know, because it came back right away. Plus, now that I have access, I glaze as much of my stuff as I can. I'm not going to glaze my entire archive, especially not on DeviantArt. I got what, 15, 20 years of archive on there. Let me just check real quick how long I've been a Deviant. All my life, but that's not what we're talking about right now. 20 years, yeah, I was right. Also, I may have cracked a code. I may. It's a possibility. It's not a guarantee. For the scammers on Divine Art. So basically, what I did, like usually, because I don't feel like fucking with them, or sometimes I feel like fucking with them, but at the same time, I wanted to end quickly, so I tell them to read my disclaimer, and my disclaimer, like, literally spells out the scam they're trying to give me. But I've had two, just this week, like yesterday and today, basically, come up to me with the same, gonna use your art as a reference, you'll be paid and credited, da-da-da-da. And both times, I told them, check my disclaimer, and both times, they completely ignored it and continued the message. Like, they continued the script, like, please read my disclaimer. I didn't say yes, but they act as if I said yes. I'm gonna make you, right away. So then I tell them, say potato. The first one didn't reply, and then shut down their scam account. The second one, I'm still waiting to see if something will happen. But say potato seems to stop them. I have yet to have one reply about their potatoes. So that's a to be continued if I ever seen one. Oh, I have had, and I actually kept the archive up. And I will read it to you guys in a minute, after I'm done with this part. So there was this kid who stole a panel off of Cammy Calamity, where Bowser is basically puny godding Cammy. And I had some fans, thank you fans, like politely tell him that to take it down because it was stolen from me. And he was not as polite, to put it nicely. Like, he would yell at them, deny it, of course, because it's very important to deny when you're caught. And well, I'm sorry, I'm the only one allowed to sass my fans, and I'm usually nicer about it too. So, having the feeling that asking him nicely to take it down once one of these people contacted me about it would not fly, I filed a copyright claim directly with Divine Art, and after a couple hours, actually, they took it down. Ouais. Figure-toi donc ici qu'il retontit-tu pas, and he decides, like, I don't know, a month later, I don't remember when he stole the piece But he decides to comment under my announcement for the June newsletter. Like, sometimes they comment directly on a deviation, sometimes they comment on the front page, sometimes they send a note, sometimes they use a chat. But he decided to comment on my newsletter. And he asks for a favor. I'm just gonna... There we go. Now we gotta merge the inks, save, and I'm going on my Divine Art page so I can read that for you guys. So this guy, who I will not name, but I will also not hide his comments because he's clearly not all there. He starts with, "Hey, I want to ask you a favor for a moment." And I reply, "Oh, I remember you. Unfortunately for you." Not in that tone. Let me retry that. Hey, I never said I was a genius either. "Hey, I want to ask you a favor for a moment." Oh, sorry, he said moment. "Oh, I remember you. Unfortunately for you." The answer is no. And he has the face. Like, the man has the cojones to reply, "The answer is yes," all caps. And I reply, "You're not winning this one, buddy. Learn to take a no. We're not all 11 years old on this platform." And he replies, "But I want to ask," every time I do this, it's all caps, okay? "But I want to ask you a favor." And the answer is no. Do you need it in Spanish? No. Yes. 9. English. No. Yes. No. I said yes, and that's final. Wow. Brave or stupid, I don't know. But he did it. I said no, respect that. Then in all caps, I said yes, and a whole bunch of exclamation marks. So that's when I got tired. That's when I went like, you know what? No, I'm not gonna entertain this anymore. And I replied, "Kid, I don't know if this tactic works with your mom when you want tater tots or chicken nuggies while you're in the basement playing Minecraft, but it doesn't work with me. Go have your little tantrum elsewhere." And then I blocked him. And then I went to warn Hype voice acting that I pissed off another kid. Like, literally, I just pissed off another kid, so watch your videos. Same reason, different kid. Because the last time I pissed off a kid because I wouldn't entertain a conversation with him about who was stronger, Bowser or Eggman, they got so mad, they went onto the video version of one of the Smack comics on Hype's channel. And he said in the comments that he was raising an army to kill me. And Hype was like, "I don't know what your beef is with Shiro, but don't come in here with those kind of comments." And the kid was like, "Who's Shiro?" Guess what? And I learned about that when Gabe talked to me on Blue Sky, like, "Do you have a beef with a kid?" And I'm like, "What?" And then I was like, "Seriously?" And then I explained what was going on. Then I went to look at the comments, and I was like, he's trying to raise an army? Dude, I'm 49. I'm 49. I'm 42 and fat. You just need to threaten me with a marathon. Like, not even a marathon, like half a mile of jogging. And I just keel over. Speaking of age, it was my mother's birthday yesterday, so everybody who sees this, wish her happy birthday. But, like, an army? Dude, you might be taking this a little too seriously. Now my question is, how come I attract all these angry little shits? Like, I call them all kids because I'm pretty sure they're kids. But at the same time, I went to the kids' page to, you know, to go and look at the art that they stole from me and then report it and have it taken down. It says that he has been a deviant for 5 years. And I know that usually to sign up for an account anywhere, like, assuming he didn't, like, we're assuming here that he didn't cheat on his birthday to get an account. That means he signed in at 13 years old. Plus 5 years, that would make him 18. And if he's 18 and acting like that, sir, you should not be on the internet. No, quite frankly, with the way I act, I shouldn't be on the internet either. But, like, jeez. And that's a neurodivergence. I assume they're neurodivergence for, like, being so, like, emotional that are mad at me. And I always have the neurotypicals mad at me. Honestly, that's why at this point I'm, like, completely desensitized. Oh, somebody's mad at me. What are the odds? I'm shocked, I tell you. Shocked! But yeah, it's fans, quote-unquote, like that that will ruin a fandom. Like, there's some stuff I'm fan of, but I don't try to join groups of fandom or try to find other fans to talk about it. Because once again, I seem to attract the angry little kids. Or sometimes worse, the adults that act like little kids. Like, when it comes to acting like a kid, I try to pick my battles. Of course, sometimes when I get emotional, I just can't help it. I'm neurodivergent. But like in that interaction that I read out for you guys earlier, I simply told him that I wasn't gonna obey his orders. I didn't threaten him of anything. Most of the time, like, my idea of acting like a kid is like, I wear stuff like this, or unironically, this is comfy. I like that it's bright. I like that it has stars on it and unicorns. If I go to a job interview, I will not wear this. Like, I can still use my little logic spot, you know? And when I want to entertain myself, I like to play video games. Or still keep drawing. That's what I like to do. I collect My Little Ponies, mostly from Gen 1. I like ponies. Do I sit down on the floor and still make little stories with them, like holding them like this and making them talk by clapping their hoofs on the ground like I used to when I was 5? No. Do I feel like it sometimes? No. Honestly, no. Like, usually if I feel like making stories, I will draw them. That. Oh my god, like that time that I grabbed my mannequin Leslie, and not Leslie, Nichelle. Leslie's the guy. Nichelle's head to make her kiss one of my Luigi figures for a reference. For, It's a Wonderful Life. Like, I was literally just like, would it work better this way, that way, that way? It's not like I did, and now you kiss. Would have been a sight, though. I mean, does it count? I'm still the same height I was in 6th grade. Oh, you guys are missing out. I was looking for a picture of my grandfather on my mom's Facebook, and she has a picture on there of me next to my brother. Like, we're 6 months apart. And quick like that, he's actually my cousin, but we call each other twin brother and twin sibling because we were raised in the same house until age 5. So we consider ourselves twin siblings. And we're 6 months apart, and we're babies on that photo, and he looks like a baby. I am ginormous. I am a tall, fat baby. Mom has trouble holding me. It's freaking hilarious because I'm still fat, but I am no longer tall. Also, we did receive a donation earlier before the stream for the current throne goal. So, thank you, Annan. One more step towards the book. That is a juicy tomato. Why? Because I thought it would be funnier. And for anybody who has a semblance of memory that ever read Garfield, split is the sound of a pie being thrown at Garfield's face and landing successfully. The app is forcing a little bit to change to the next song. Come on, baby. I pay a license to these people. And the service is literally down. Literally, it's just a black page. This is not annoying at all. Alright, if I shut down the app and restart it, like it's not necessarily there we go. Music is back. I wonder how many people will notice that I'm not using my left hand here, which I feel is a pretty important point. That I'm trying to render an image without the use of my dominant hand. Like, you gotta ask yourself some questions after a while. What it makes me think of trying to render an image with text prompts only. And I have to specify prompts because I can work off scripts. At least there was somebody who put actual effort in a script, usually. So, you guys know I have a Commodore 64. And I have like 3 million programs for it. Because my grandpa, yo ho ho, and I have these two little programs for kids called Mimi and Mimi à la Ville, which is the sequel. In the first one, Mimi lives in the forest, and in the other one, Mimi lives in the city. Basically that's what the title says: Mimi à la Ville, Mimi in the city. And each letter of the alphabet was assigned to an action. So if you wanted Mimi to do, like, let's say, go and pick up an apple, you would type A. Or if you wanted her to do a little dance, you would type D and stuff like that. Well, I'm saying it in English, but the games were in French, so the words were different. Anyway. And you could write a story for Mimi to act out. And you would do that by going into story mode, but not write a story. You would just put in the letters in the order you wanted Mimi to perform these actions. So that's kind of the feeling I'm getting, because I wasn't really writing a story. Because at first, like, you know, I'm a kid. So when they say this is story mode, I try to write a story. So I try to write a story, normally with words. But it stops awfully early. Like, I got like 3 lines in before the program stopped me. So I decided to run it. And of course, instead of doing what was written in the story, she was doing what each letter of the story told her to do. So it was not my story. And then I understood how it worked, and then I wrote a story, but it was literally just a bunch of commands. So it wasn't really me. So that's what it feels like. You're not really doing anything. It did not feel creative. The idea was to be creative. And it was fun to see Mimi walking around the forest and do stuff. Or walking around the city and doing stuff. But my input was really minimal. Like, I simply automated the process by going into story mode, because I could, like, not go into story mode and press any letters and she would do these actions. Go into story modes, I would press the letters and she would do all these actions automatically, and all I had to do was watch her. So I had a result, but I barely had any input. So that's what text prompt in an AI generator feels like. And in the end, yay, result. But did I have fun doing that little process? Not really. Like, art is leisure for me. I don't want a program to do the leisure for me. I will admit, when I reach that part in any video game, I would like an AI to take over for me, but I still do it. You know that part. There's always a part in any video game that you're like, ugh. I swear I'm a professional. Can't wait to see what's the reaction's gonna be to this one. Oh, I admit, sometimes when I get yelled at, I am absolutely looking for it. I'm a little goblin. But the screaming never arrives when I expect it. That's my issue. Like, I absolutely expect that shit's gonna go down for this one. But will it? Will it really? Not gonna lie, I had lunch, but for some reason I got like super hungry like right now. So I'm kind of focusing on that despite myself. I love my tab mate, but at the same time, it likes to crash a lot, and that bothers me. we're almost done. Gonna have a bit more water. Add the washi. And we'll be done for today. You know what? I'm gonna leave them like that. And just cut as I go. I don't know, I think it looks pretty how it's put down right now. Voyons, je m'en mets de la misère. And of course, we will not forget to put the gutters back to white. In fact, I'll do it right now. There. Now we take a little last minute look-see. All right, we are done for today. So, we do what we do at every end of stream. We go to the end card and we thank our support booties, all of them, Patreon, Ko-fi, everywhere else. So extra special caramel drizzle, rainbow sprinkle, chocolate syrup thanks to our support booties, Amber B, Paul K, Miss Anavis, Sir E, Uttered, Blah 6, Matthew H, Laura S, Bad at Multiplayers, Winter the Kitten, and the part-time support booties, Super Dude at 808 and Rocket Mouse are continued, or part-time support is immensely appreciated. Next live stream is going to be June 29th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. That's my time, not your time. Maybe your time, I don't know you, I don't know your life. Hope you guys had fun watching me draw this. I had fun drawing it. I'll see you guys next week. I love you all, and bye-bye.